Hi, my name is Kumar, and I'm a freshman at the University of Arkansas. As much as racism bleeds America, we need to understand there's something worse than that. It's a term called classism. And classism is the term classified towards differential treatment based off of your social class. It could be based off of where you work, the way you dress, how much money you make, so anything to do with your social standing. For me personally, I've always been chasing something. And it's been chasing good grades, chasing money. But as I got older, I finally realized that money and all these grades aren't really going to make me happy. It's the people around you and the kind of people that surround you. And this is also considered to be ethically wrong, and it's not right to treat people based off of the way they come off or how much money they have. I want you to close your eyes and imagine talking to someone. You don't know anything about them, you don't know what they look like, all you know is that they're either a guy or a girl. And you get to talk to them. So you don't get to take into consideration what they look like, what their race is, where they work, how much they make, none of that stuff. And you might find yourself talking to people that you normally don't in your regular basis. It could be like a CEO talking to a pizza delivery guy, a mailman talking to a teacher. You could find yourself talking to a lot of other people that you might not typically. Going from there, the origins of classism. So classism had to start somewhere eventually. And classism started around the 1700s in India, Southeast Asia. And so back then, classism was based off of your economic power and your wealth. So all the kings, the leaders, they were always seen as the upper class. And they're like the farmers, the tradesmen, the guys that did the physical labor, they were the lower class. And between them, there was no way to change your class. If you were born as the son or daughter of a farmer, you were kind of stuck there for the rest of your life. And if you were born if you're the son of a king, you're a prince, you're set for life. Same thing goes with the leader. So there was never really a way to move on from there. You were always just set in one particular place. And going from there, the only way that you could actually change your class, I guess, was getting married to someone in an upper class. But yeah, that was it, and couldn't really happen. But there's types of classes too. There's the lower class, the working class, the middle class, and the upper class. So the lower class consists of people that make the least amount of money. They're in the last 10% GDP wise. And they struggle they run from paycheck to paycheck. They're usually, the lowest possible job, working at a cafeteria to being a janitor, and then goes to the working class. So from an underpaid teacher to possibly a football coach or something. So they typically have a little bit more money than them, but they're still not well off. And there's a middle class, that's about 40 to 50% of America, the middle class. They make enough money, they're higher above the lower class and the working class, but they're still not the richest. They are well on, they got some money, and they're going. And then the rich class, they're the rich, they make up more money than 50% of the American population. That's how much money they have. And if you're born into that kind of family, you're basically set for life and you have nothing else to worry about. And the relevance and importance of this topic, classism, is it plays a larger role than most people might think of. It affects people with their education. For example, if you take two kids, one kid is in the upper class and the other kid is in the working or lower class. So ideally you'd think that both kids have the same opportunity of success, but that's where you're wrong. The kid with the better environment, he is going to have the chance to take harder classes in high school. Play sports, all those things. And then the lower class, that kid is not going to, know as much. He's just going to be just want to get through high school, just move on from there. So they're not really given equal opportunities. And in fact, statistics say that your income affects how you are more than race, which I find surprising because everybody brings up race into all these things, but it's actually about your income and kind of how you're being put up differentially. And so taking all this into consideration, I want people to realize that racism is not the problem, but it's classism and putting people in stereotypical groups and dividing people. And I just think that everybody should get an equal opportunity and get treated the same way, regardless of what you look like, how much you make, or what kind of race you are. Thank you for listening.